Hey guys, I forgot to say this during the video. I want to talk about really quick how to determine who goes first in PvP. So this is going to be a PvP video, so you'll get into it in a minute. But the way you determine who goes first in PvP is based on your speed. It's a combination of the 5 Digimon you have, so their total speed will determine which opponent goes first in the battle park. That's something to keep in mind if you're making your team compositions. So let's get into the rest of the video. Hey guys, DG Gamer here. So I'm really hyped about this new news that we just got. This update is going to bring in PvP for us. The Battle Park will be opening on October 14th. It's really exciting to have this here because I've been waiting for it. This is what I've been building my team for. And if you guys have been watching my previous content, I let you guys know that I did end up leaving my job recently because it's too much of a time-consuming thing, and I want to study more for my MCAT. I took my MCAT and I got a score that will get me into schools out of state, but I don't want to go out of state. I want to stay in California, so I'm going to take the next 6 months-ish to study again and actually get a better score so I can stay in California. And so that's what I'm going to be doing here, and I'm going to have more time for YouTube. I'm going to have from 8 to 5 be studying, and then from 5 until midnight-ish for YouTube, going to the gym, stuff like that. So I'm going to have more time for YouTube, so let me know in the comments below when you guys want me to do live streams. I want to make them more of a regular thing here on the channel, more like a schedule-based thing. So let me know about that. But I want to talk about the Battle Park medals and the Battle Park in itself. So right here you'll see that they have a limited egg here that's here for 17 days, has 750 medals that are required for it. It says it hatches a Mega Gankoomon. This is something that everybody should be striving for. It's a really good Digimon to have, and it is a free Mega if you can acquire this. I'm kind of worried though because 750 medals is actually something that seems pretty hard to get. I've been talking to people on the from JP side, and they say about 11 medals per day from dailies, and depending on your rank, they're getting about 100 medals per week. So that's a lot longer than 17 days to get 750. So hopefully they give us like a celebration or something, or a login something where you get some battle points or something. And then you also see these 3 other eggs that are 100 points or 100 medals. Those are something that you should not be wasting your points on until you have the 750 Gankoomon egg, because those only have a small chance to give you a Mega. The Ganko is a for sure one. So now I kind of want to talk about Digimon that I have that I'm going to be running with for PvP. I don't have every Mega yet in the game, so I can't go over every Mega, but we are going to go over some of the ones I have because they are actually... I was really lucky with RNG, and a lot of the Megas that I do have for PvP are... there's Gankoomon, so beautiful. A lot of them are top tier PvP Digimon. So everybody knows War Greymon, everybody knows that he's a single target, really beefy single target character, but that's something that we don't want to bring into PvP unless you have to. There's going to be better options for that for sure. He's something you want to bring for raids, and that's pretty much it. So another option, a better option than War Greymon would be Sakuamon. And Sakuamon is actually pretty good because she has a passive skill that nullifies skill lock up to all your allies. So it nullifies to everybody. That's her passive. And that's going to be good because a lot of people are going to have skill lock from their Sakuamons. Her main skill is going to be a attack that does 186% damage to all enemy targets with a 40% chance to inflict skill lock on all enemy targets for 2 turns. So that's something that if you have her, she'll nullify it for your team for 3 turns. So that's something that's going to be good. So if you pop into a PvP match and you see somebody with Sakuamon, you probably don't want to use that skill for 3 turns because of that passive. And then she also has the ability to decrease the tech by 30% for all enemies. Her sub-skill is going to be 144% damage to all enemies, decreases the defense by 20%. So that's actually a really good skill to do. So I'm going to be popping that one pretty early in the match. The next one is going to be Boltmon. His passives are really good. He has a permanent passive that increases all of your allies' crit chance by 20%. He also nullifies burn to himself. His main skill is 340% damage to 2 enemies with a 55% chance to inflict burns to 2 of those enemies for 2 turns. It also decreases 2 enemies' targets' crit chance by 30% for 2 turns. So that's pretty good. And then he has this AoE that has a 40% chance to burn everybody that it hits. So That's something that's really good. Minervamon is going to be a top tier, like the S tier for PvP. Her passives are pretty good. Decreases all enemy targets' defense by 20%, and that's permanent. She also nullifies freeze for herself, so that would be good for PvP, yes, I guess for freezing types, but it's also going to be good for the next banner if it is going to be Metal Garurumon. So the main skill is 280% damage to 3 enemies that has the chance to inflict poison by 50%, and also their counter rate goes down by 20% to 3 enemies. Let's see. Oh, for 2 turns. So sub skills is going to be 130 damage to all enemies, and then decreases all enemies block by 20%. So Titamon is next. Titamon is going to have a passive that nullifies all that stuff right there. You guys can read it for himself. He does it to the allies and all the brave allies and to himself. So he's going to be good to partner with brave Digimon. And it's kind of unfortunate that the other brave Digimon are going to be Boltmon, and so he's going to be good for Boltmon, but it's unfortunate that War Greymon is a brave, and we're not going to be really using him in PvP. But if you wanted to bring him in PvP, he is a brave, so he will partner with Titamon pretty well. So his main skill is a 220% damage to 4 enemies with a 45% chance to inflict poison for 2 turns. It also decreases 4 enemies' power damage resistance by 30%. His sub skill is a 210 damage to 3 enemy targets, increases the allies' block rate by 30%. So you have him increasing your team's block rate, and then you have Minervamon who is decreasing the enemy's block rate. And then another one I'm going to be running with that is the top of the top, is like one of the best PvPers right now in the game, is going to be Hyandramon. I actually pulled him in my live stream. Actually, let me go and evolve him first before we talk about him. So here we go. We're going to evolve the Hyandramon. Hyandramon is actually a really good Digimon, though, to have. His passive is amazing. It increases your allies' counter rate by 20%, and that's going to be a permanent passive. His main skill is 170% damage to all enemy targets, 40% chance to inflict shock on all enemy targets for 2 turns, increasing all allies' block rate for 30% for 2 turns. So I'm not really sure if that block will stack with your Titamon. I'm not sure if that's going to stack or not. That's something I have to look into. And then his sub skill is going to increase all allies' defense by 60% for 3 turns. So once you get into PvP, if you have Hyandramon, that's the first move you have to do for your team. So it decreases their it increases their defense by 60%. That's crazy. That's going to be a crazy buff. He is the best for PvP for that reason, and that's a crazy passive, man. That is just unbelievable. Also, I have not evolved my Pumpkinmon yet, but supposedly he has a really good sleeping ability that will come in effect into PvP. That's another thing you could use if you don't have some of these Digimon. And what else? Let's see. There is also Venomiotismon. He has a passive skill that skill lock affects targets brave allies for nullifies skill lock attacks on brave allies. So he will be good to partner up with your Boltmon, your War Greymon, and your Titamon, because Titamon had that brave benefit as well. So does this passive. And then his other passive is a permanent. It increases one's own counter rate by 30 or 40%. That's crazy. He has 160% damage to 4 enemy targets, increasing the power of brave allies by 40% for 2 turns. So he's going to be another, like I said, another person to partner with those braves if you have him to run PvP with. That was his sub. I'm so sorry. That's his sub. His main attack is going to be a 340% damage to 2 enemy targets, 55% chance to inflict poison onto 2 enemies for 2 turns, and increases one pinpoint rate by 50% for 2 turns. So pinpoint is a skill that I think makes them attack, what I've heard, attack the lowest HP character, but in PvP you actually get to target who you want to attack. So I'm not really sure how beneficial pinpoint would be in PvP, unless that's not what it does, but I actually don't know what pinpoint does, so whatever. So, but those are some of the Digimon that I have some knowledge on for you guys. There are some that Ebimon, I don't really know what he does. I don't really have the information on him right now. But this is what I'm going to be running with, and this is a solid PvP team. This is a solid team right here. Later on, I'll of course add a healer later on, but I think this is what I'm going to run with when it goes live. I think this will be able to get me to higher ranks pretty fast. We'll see how it plays out. But this is what I'm running with. So this is a really good team in my opinion, and I'm really looking forward to running with this. I'm really hyped. I'm really excited for this this PvP, man. I can't wait. I can't freaking wait. I kind of want to buy some gems right now. I'm waiting on the vendor, but God, they're taking so long. So I'm like antsy. We did that live stream today where we did 2 pools, and I kind of ran out of gems now. So I kind of want to do more pools here. So if you guys wake up tomorrow to see me doing a summoning video, then I guess that might happen. So have a great night, guys. Let me know in the comments below what what Digimon you're going to be using. Let me know if you guys have any team comps you want to talk about. And if you guys are not part of the Discord already, make sure you guys join it so we can talk about Digimon and all that stuff. So have a great night, and I'll see you guys for the next video.